Hello everyone and Happy New Year 2022. Today we take a look at the affordable Viltrox 85mm 1.8 for the Canon RF mount. Maybe the Viltrox 85mm is called differently in the United States. Find out in this video whether €400 is worth it or whether you should spend more on the original Canon version. Here's the box from all sides. Simple and with the most important details on the sides. The Viltrox RF 85mm weighs 530 grams, feels very good in my hands and doesn't necessarily feel cheap. If anyone should have any concerns about this. Thanks to the STM motor, this lens focuses quickly and silently. By the way, the lens hood is part of this package, just like the protective pouch and the usual paperwork. To protect the front element, I recommend a 72mm filter. You can find the link in the video description. To update the firmware, you will find a USB-C port on the bayonet. On the side, the lens has a switch for the autofocus and manual focus, but no programmable RF ring. That's a shame actually, because so far I haven't found one from a third-party manufacturer. By the way, the focus ring runs very smooth. Neither hard nor too soft, just right. The closest focusing distance is 80 centimeters and we'll take a closer look at this in a moment. The lens flare is very pronounced in all directions. I don't want to judge whether this is similar with other 85mm lenses. Just look for yourself. I personally find very few chromatic aberrations, here and there a little magenta or green tone. The best way to convince yourself is with the sample files from the video description. Just scroll to the bottom. Let's look at the dark edges next. I found that it depends on the environment. Here in the light I noticed less dark edges and in other light conditions I noticed more. The whole thing was a bit subjective in this case, but you can convince yourself with the sample files from the video description. But now to the exciting question. Is the Viltrox 85mm sharp? Here are some examples we took for you. In the center, this lens is extremely sharp, even at an aperture of 1.8. Toward the edges, the sharpness decreases considerably and the whole thing looks a bit soft. But already at 2.5 the whole thing changes. Here too, the edges are extremely sharp, so very good results. But what about the focus? Admittedly in the dark there were 1 or 2 dropouts in video mode with tracking. But in daylight there's absolutely nothing to say against it. Tested here on the Canon EOS R and the Canon EOS R6. Even the eye tracking was brilliant. With the 85mm you have a minimum focusing distance of 80 centimeters, ideal for detail shots, for example at a wedding or for nature photography. The Canon RF 85mm macro is of course the better choice in this respect, but it costs €250 more. Have fun with the following shots. Anyone who wants to use the 85mm for filming will have fun. In manual focus, the ring runs very softly and evenly. This is usually less the case with many third-party lenses. The face tracking runs very quickly in autofocus, and in slow motion a lot of things look better anyway. Who actually needs an 85mm? I would say mainly people who like to shoot weddings, portraits, or need to be a bit closer to the action than with a 50mm. Portraits definitely look cool, and the 1.8 aperture should be perfectly fine. I think the €3,000 for the 1.2 aperture with the extra size and weight is the worst choice here. But feel free to give me your feedback. There's plenty of space for your comments below this video. The Bokeh looks pretty good too. Not quite as round as the 1.2 version, but at this price it's absolutely stunning. Maybe someone knows how many aperture blades are in this lens. And what do you say? Would it be better to spend €250 more on the macro version, or €3,000 because it also gives me dust and splash protection, which I don't think this lens has? I would just say, if you're looking for an 85mm at an unbeatable price, you will make no mistake with this version. If you need a macro lens, you will have to spend €250 more. If not, this version will also give you cool detailed shots. Be sure to check out the video description. At the bottom you will find the sample files. It's best to make up your own mind. Feel free to play around with the raw files and let me know what you think. If you need an 85mm, I would definitely buy the Viltrox version. Make sure to use the link in the video description for this lens, tripod or memory card, as you are supporting my channel. Happy New Year and all the best. Stay brave and see you very soon. Ciao.